Yeah, that's great. Now give me more.
Welcome to the mess.
On the surface she looks fine, but what's inside ain't always in line. Life is good, life is bad. She's a mess, but a happy one.
Hi, I'm Little Happy Mess and welcome to my podcast.
Story time. Hello and welcome back to a new episode of Little Happy Mess. Today we're at episode 14, I think. I forgot. And it's about more. Give me more. So, as you all know, and as you can all feel, we live in a society where we always try to achieve more. This starts in economics, where we always try to have a better performance every year. So I don't know what's it called in English. I think PIB. I'm not sure. Anyway, we always try to achieve more economical gain as a country, or in smaller terms like as a city, as a village, whatsoever. And there always has to be a continuous growth. So I just got a mail. There always has to be growth, and we are avoiding stagnation. It's really crucial to us to avoid stagnation in economic terms, and there has to be growth everywhere. And if there's not growth, then oh my God, inflation is gonna eat us all. So that's in economic terms, but there's also the same happens in social terms. So when you're good at something, or when you have a certain behavioral trait that's appreciated, then people usually expect more. So now that let's take a kid. Now that you can interact with grown-ups very well, we expect of you to interact with grown-ups even better. So for example, the kid can interact with the family very well, and now the kid is supposed to have very, very good social skills when they're at a restaurant with people that the kid doesn't know. So we are always expected to show more. And we grow up in this society where it always has to be more money, more better performance, more material. Everything just has to be more beauty, more fitness. Like everything has to be better. So we internalize that. And obviously, we try to always be better, to always optimize us, based on the feeling that we're never enough, like I talked about in the last episode. But also because everybody else does it, and we have this thrive for more. And I don't think it's bad to thrive for more, or to want more in general. But it gets a little toxic when we don't appreciate what we have right now. So, for example, I was very caught up in this whole getting more, getting better at things, especially in school and university. So first it just started, in school I always had to have the best grades and be the best student and blah, 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 blah. But then it continued. I needed to be good in several areas. So not just school, but then also sports, and then also like work, when work came along as well. And then so many different things, like no matter in what area I was, like being part of a social system or whatever, I had to be better than everybody else, or I had to be the best. And this was really hard, because whenever I achieved something, I had to top this. So I didn't appreciate whatever I achieved. Let's say I passed school with excellence, but then now it's university. So I never celebrated my successes, and I never acknowledged them. I have this, that's a very good example. My dad was at my I don't know how, graduation, I guess, college graduation. And they called my name. I had to go out on stage, and then I got my certificate. And I received, how do you call that? Like I graduated with distinction, it's called, with the highest distinction. So I had really good grades, and I performed really well in my bachelor's exam and my bachelor's thesis. So I got this distinction thingy. And then I came back to my seat and sat down, and my dad was like, "Do you even realize that you are the only one at this whole ceremony with this kind of distinction?" So I was the best out of all the students that graduated on that day. And I was like, yeah, but still, because all of the other students of my class, they graduated earlier, but I had to repeat two or more exams because I was ill for a period of time. I wasn't feeling well, and I really wanted to graduate it with all the others, but then I couldn't, so I graduated later, like 2 months later, which doesn't make any difference. But like I didn't see that success, even though it was a great success, and I never celebrated it either. So and it goes on like that. It went on like that in my life, and now I really have to be careful to stop and appreciate the successes or the accomplishments, the goals I achieve, because otherwise I would just go past and then because there's no stopping point. So let's say we earn a certain amount of money now in our job, and that's what we always wanted. But then now we're like, okay, now I want more. So we like maybe we're happy for a week, but then now I want more. So we never just sit down and stop, appreciate what we have, and realize where we got, and yeah, exactly, like what we have, because we're always driven to perform better, to achieve more money, more success, more sports, more, I don't know, everything just has to be more, and everything just has to be better. And we're so competition driven. So we're like educated in a way where competition is good. It makes us, it gives us a kick. It makes us perform. But I don't believe that competition really helps us to achieve better results, because we always think about this other person or this other company or whatsoever, and we can't really focus on our own like achievements. Wisdom. Yes, so now we get to the wisdom part. I just got another email. I need to switch that off next time. So, like I said, I was really caught up, and I am still caught up in this system where I always want to achieve more and achieve better results and optimize myself. But I found that it's really crucial to be grateful for what we have. Because if we're not grateful for the things that are already in our life or that already work well, then more can't come in our life, or it comes in our life, but we never reach the state of satisfaction, because every single one of us wants is to be happy. And we got tricked to think that this only happens by doing more. So being better at your job, doing more courses, watching more videos about how to be happy, watching more courses about how to be happy. But it's not more. It's not like the amount of, let's say, Little Happymess podcast episodes you consume. It's the quality. So it's I consume this one episode, for example, and then I take out everything I can, and then I stop, and then some other time I watch something else. So it's never how much we do, how do you say that? Like how we climb up that ladder of success, but rather realizing each step we take on that ladder and really appreciating that we got there, like for ourselves, like patting ourselves on the shoulder, but also in order to get more. like in order to get higher. I believe that the universe wants us to constantly grow, but usually it wants us to grow in a different way than what we think we should be growing in. So it kind of has its own path chosen for us, and then when we don't follow it because we're too too stuck in our everyday lives, in our I want that and that and that and that, then it just it gives us a little pat on the shoulder or a hard hit on the head, and puts us back into where it wants us to move to. This is why I think it's so important to stop after every milestone, after every goal, success, whatsoever, appreciate it, and just take it all in and wait a little to know what the next step is, because maybe whatever there is in your head isn't right in your heart, or isn't where you're supposed to go, or isn't even necessary. Sometimes we have this feeling that we need to, okay, let's say Nina needs to be a manager of a big corporate. Like I would never really want that. Like, I never thought this through. Like, as a kid, I thought that's like, that's where I wanted to be, and like have all these employees beneath me. And everybody looks up to me because blah 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 blah. But that's not really what I ever wanted. Not as a kid, not as a adolescent, and not now. It's just some construct in my head. Maybe I saw it somewhere, probably through all the economic studies I did. It seemed to be something that I wanted, but it really isn't. And the only way to find that out, if something's really for us, is by stopping. And then just waiting what comes in when we're silent, and when we're not moving, and when we sit down and let everything sink in. Because I have those moments, or it became less. It became a lot less, but I remember that I had those times where I don't remember what happened the day before, because so many things happened, and like a lot of great things, like not that so much bad shit happened, but like really great things, but there was no way for me to appreciate, because it was so many things at once that that there was no way for me to even process all of that. So in order to achieve more, we need to settle down, be silent, be with ourselves, and really, really, really visualize what we want, and not want everything at once at the same time. Yes, and because I mentioned competition before, in my opinion, competition is not necessary for success. Not in business terms, not in any other terms, on personal levels, because I think that, let's take it to a personal level first, that everybody's unique. And by being unique, you can't compare yourself to anyone, and you don't have competitors. Like, okay, let's say I'm a competitive weightlifter. And then there's another woman, same age, same kind of weight class or whatsoever, and we are both doing the same thing. Like, obviously, if there would be a competition, then maybe she gets the first prize and I'm second. But if you take it to another level, if you think about, let's say there's like a film crew here, and then there's like sponsors and whatsoever, then the second one can be the one that gets more, let's say, attention, because the individual character is maybe more fascinating than the first prize winner. So then maybe, yes, okay, you didn't win that competition, but maybe you achieved, you gained more money through all the campaigns that the sponsors want you to be in. That's actually a bad example, because in competitions, there's always competition. But let's take an everyday situation where you're like, okay, let's say at work, and there's this other person, and she works really well, and her work is really good, and blah 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 blah, and you look up to her, and you kind of envy her, and then you see her as your competitor. And you like, she would never be your competitor, because the way you do your work will always be different than the way she does her work, because you come with a package. There's the social aspects around you, like how you interact with your colleagues, and then there's the way you achieve results, which will be different. Then there's the whole process of how you get to ideas and how you execute them. You're so different than everyone else, and everybody else is so different to you, that it would never make sense to compare yourself to anyone. And if you don't need to compare yourself to anyone, then there is no need for competition, because I believe everybody can do everything they want, and there doesn't need to be a best, because that's always subjective. So I think that band is the best, and then someone else thinks that band is the best. Who's the best? Both are the best. It's just so different. Like they are different. You can't compare them with each other. They can be similar in many ways, but they will never be the same. And same happens in business terms. There's even this strategies like red ocean, blue ocean markets. If you enter a blue ocean market, you just create your own category. So my company does things so different that you can't compare the company to anybody else's company. It's like my podcast will always be different than everybody else's podcast, because I am me and I'm different than everybody else. And of course, there can be found similarities. So maybe someone looks very similar to me. Maybe someone speaks the same language. Maybe someone has the same stupid German accent, or has the same IKEA chair. Who knows? But the way I do it will always be different than to how everybody else is doing it. And if I'm comparing myself now to all the other podcast hosts, it won't make any sense. Like, of course, I can watch their podcasts and be like, that's interesting. Can I implement it in another way, how it would suit my podcast? And, I can be interested in the material someone else produces, but I will always be different than everybody else, and there's no need for me to think in a way of competition, because the market I created is so different than that nobody else can come in here, because it's just a unique package I come with, and you can create a company that follows the exact same pattern. So your company might even produce the same products like another company, but the way you sell it, the way you market it, the way you interact with your customers might be so different than your competitors do, that there will never really, or that let's not call them competitors, that other companies in that industry do, that there will never be a chance to compare yourself to anyone else, and then there'll never be someone who can produce it, or who can market it, or who can sell it the way you do. And I think that is far more, like that is to aspire, not to, to kill the competition, and to be mean to everybody else, and like this elbow strategy where you try to get everybody away from you, and you're the best, and you just make everybody else redundant. Is that the word? I think we can all do our thing and just not care, or just not just not care what everybody else is doing, as long as it makes them happy, because it doesn't matter. So competition and wanting more really goes hand in hand, because when we see someone else do something additional, something new, then we feel like we have to do it too. But like we don't, like we don't need competition to drive us because our path is unique. And if there's something more that we want to achieve or that we need to achieve in our journey, then it will come to us, and it doesn't have to be in the same way that it comes for other people. Yes. So, gratitude. Don't think in a way of competition, and also free yourself from limiting thoughts. So whenever you feel yourself comparing yourself to someone else or being caught up in this, I need more in order to be happy, this will never lead to you being happier. When you think you need more in order to be happy, then you always wrong, or like in 99% of the cases, because usually we need less. So we have so much, and yes, there's always something more to achieve, or it's always good to have dreams and aspire for more, but in most cases we just need to settle down and appreciate what we have, because we have so much. And life is so beautiful, and there's so much beauty. And sometimes we're so caught up in achieving more and getting more that we don't even see the beauty that's already there, the abundance that's always there. If we don't see the abundance, then we think it's not there, but it's always there. Life is abundant. Further material? Yeah, so for further material, I would recommend you to read the kleine Buddha, the little Buddha. I don't know if it exists in English, but it's a really cute story. There's different little, like, how do you call that? Not episodes, because it's a book, but like different topics. And it's always written in a really nice way, and it really makes you go back to your own origins, and to get out of this whole I want more cycle, and resettle and reevaluate and reappreciate what you have right now in your life. Yes, so I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, let me know on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on everywhere where you find me. Subscribe, like, and let me know about your feedback. You can always direct message me or leave a comment. I'm Little Happy Mess everywhere. And if you want more messness, then you should go to Instagram and follow me there, because I post more there when I feel like it. Yes, I hope you have a great weekend. I wish you a great day, and I am already looking forward to see you next week.